Good morning, good morning. Sorry guys, I'm a couple minutes late. Hope everybody had a great weekend this weekend. But back to the grind, fam. Back to the grind. Good morning, good morning. Give it a minute or so, let some people get on here, and then we'll start going over some stuff for the day. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. So everything gapped up this morning. Just gonna look through it real quick. AMD gapped up. Everything is up for the day, but AMD definitely gapped up this morning. So, as you can see, it's above previous day high, so it gapped up. So I would just, watch for this level. Obviously, look to the left. It's been getting rejected at this level. Huge resistance at this level. So if it makes this level support at 71.94, there's probably a lot more upside if it could make it support. So if you see it failing to break out today on AMD, right around this area, look for puts back to the gap fill. Unless there's news, I'm not sure if there's news on AMD. I didn't have time to look. But yeah, this is a crucial level right here. 71.94, guys. So watch that level. If it looks like it's getting rejected, then obviously get puts and ride it down to. I'll give you guys some targets real quick. So to go calls. I would say, just to be safe, $72.98 for calls. Right, my first price target will be $73.39. My next price target will be $74.09. It's crazy how that works out. And then my next price target will be right about $74.54. Now, if it can't make this support, the 200, it's way down here below previous day high on the 5-minute chart. So I would say to go short, 71.35 will be my put trigger. My first price target will be 70.66, and then my next price target will be previous day high at 70.14. Now, if that fails to make support, my next price target, that will be the gap fill and previous day high. So watch for a reversal right around here, which I'm going to put a price alert for because I want to be alerted if it gets this low. And then my next price target will be the 200 on a 5-minute at 69.66. 69.66, guys. Jump to Amazon real quick. It's above previous day high right now. So I would look for it to, there's some gaps that needs to be filled. There's a gap right here at 97.84. There's another gap at previous day high right here at 97.35. So I look for a pullback, I just wanted to mark the 200 on the 5-minute real quick. So, yeah, look for a pullback, see if it makes it support. Pretty much the same thing as AMD. As you can see, it's real toppy here, toppy. You know, lower high. So to go long, man, I would just stay away from it until it's by the range. That's me though, but I'll give you some price targets just for. So 98.47 would be my call trigger. My first price target will be 98.83, and then my next price target will be 99.28. But if you guys see this come down, like I said, fill the gap. See if it's support for the downside. I would just stay away from it until it comes back into the range, or you see it make previous day high support for the next leg up. So for puts, I would go 96.98. My first price target will be 96.671. I know it's not too far, but I want to give you guys all, where so you know where all the supports are. The next price target would be right here at the 200 at 96.06. And then my next price target will be right here at 95.19 for the downside, guys. 95.19 for Amazon. Let's go to Apple real quick. Everything's looking pretty strong. As you can see, it tried to break through the 200 on the hourly, got rejected, went through it, came back, retested it, bounced again, and then made it support and ran, came back, almost tested it, and then bounced again. So the 200 on the 1 hour on Apple is huge support. Just keep that in mind. Let's come over here. It does look like it's gonna curl over, but just be careful. You're not. Nobody knows what it's gonna do, and the market doesn't care what I think or anybody else thinks, as Chuckles would say. Good morning, Amber. As you see, it's toppy right here, so just keep that in mind. Might form like a cup and then a handle, and then there's so many different scenarios that could happen. So just keep that in mind, guys. Just keep that in mind. If you see it make previous day high support, obviously you want to go calls. It gapped down this morning, but then filled the gap and just kept running. It is overbought on the 5-minute. Everything doesn't seem to be curling over, guys. So just keep that in mind. So for the calls on the daily, since there's no more candles on the hourly chart that's really close, I'll just go off of, let's see if we can use the 4-hour instead. Okay, so there is a gap right here that needs to be filled at 143.21. Sorry guys, all I ever do is talk about numbers, so I get discombobulated sometimes. So there is a gap right here, which I'm gonna mark, because I'm gonna look for the gap fill reversal if it gets up there. And it's above the 200, guys. As you could see, it was using the 200 as resistance. Even though it was bouncing, couldn't make it support, bounced, made it resistance. Now it's down here right above it on the 4-hour chart. It's right above the 200, so I'm going to be watching it for for some more downside potential. There are gaps below. There are no gaps below on the 4-hour chart. So I would say calls at 138.53. Obviously, my first price target will be right here at 139.49. And then my next price target to the upside will be right here at 140.65. And then watch for the pre-gap fill at 141.42. And then the gap fill at 143.21. Go back to the hourly chart. I just like to use the hourly chart for my, for my price alerts, because it's not too long of a time period, because I'm just a day trader. So it's not too long of a time period, and it's not too short of a time period. It's like right in the middle, which is just the way I like to do it. So it's like in between the micro and the macro. For puts, you just want to be careful on this. Like I said, if you guys see it on the 5-minute breaking down, just be careful because it can make it support. You might see it come down here, test the 50 like it did right here on the 5-minute. Not really test it, but as you can see, it use it as support and then bounce back up. So you might get this little drop in the morning and then it might bounce up or it might just die. It really just depends. I like to be ready for any scenario. So I'm going to say for puts, I would go 137.72 would be my put trigger. My next price target would be right here at 137.28. My next price target obviously is going to be 137.04 because that's support. And then my next price target to the downside would be 136.38, guys. Let's go with Tesla. I know Tesla gapped up this morning. AMD and Tesla's really been moving together a lot, so just keep that in mind. Looks like a nice cut. There might be a handle, and then a bounce. Just got to keep that stuff in mind. Once I see patterns, I can't unsee it. So, do I solely base my trades off of patterns? No, there's a lot of different things that I just keep them in mind. Like, okay, that looks like a cup and handle. That looks like a W pattern. That looks like a bear flag. That looks like a bull flag. That looks like, I just use that as like extra confirmation. It's just another piece to the puzzle. All right, but it did gap up. It is overbought on the 5-minute. As you can see, it broke through the 200. Had a beautiful run. Came back, what did it do? Tested it, made it support, and then made another run, guys. So, I'm definitely be looking for it's toppy right here, obviously. You always look to the left, guys. You always look to the left. So, for calls, I personally would just stay away from it, guys, until it comes back down to the zone, to the range. But I will give you guys price targets to the upside just in case. So I'm going to say, obviously, this was a price target on Friday, so I'm going to use that as my call trigger at 137.46. 137.46. And then my first price target will be 138.67. My next price target will be 139.74 to the upside. Now, watch this area, guys. I personally wouldn't trade until it comes back down to the range. At least tests it, fills the gap. Excuse me. Fills the gap, and then obviously makes it support and reverses. Or if it just breaks down, comes into the range, then I would probably enter. I like to play towards the top of the range and the bottom of the range. There's just a lot of guessing here because it could come down into the gap and then reverse. I've seen it a million times. Same thing on the downside. So just keep in mind that anything could happen. It could come down here, bounce pretty much right here at 134.40. So like I said, I would just stay away from it. Look at, it's like a nice cup and handle. Yes, it has some. It's not a beautiful cup. It's not, nothing is. You're going to see some wonky shapes as well. Not everything is just, to the T. When it is, it's great, but if not a big deal as long as you can see it. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Venus. Hope you guys had a great weekend, but it's back to the grind. Time to hunt. Let's go. So like I said, just watch for the gap fill. I'll definitely be watching for the gap fill. I'm going to put a little price alert right here. Just so if I'm looking at something else, it alerts me and lets me know, hey, I'm near this range. But for puts, obviously it's got to be below previous day high, which I would say is like 132.72. My first price target would be the 200 on the 5-minute, which is 131.82. My next price target will be 130.75, guys. 130.75. But I'll definitely be looking to see if it fills the gap. Now, if you guys see it come into the gap and then start reversing, then go long. You know what I mean? A lot of things changes. I give you guys price targets, but I want you to understand that a lot can happen from 9 to 9:30. in pre-market, it could gap down, it could gap up, so things are changing. But if you are in the Discord, obviously you'll be able to just see it, and we'll be able to talk about it over the voice channel. I do like how it looks like a nice cup. You might get the handle right here. So like I said, I'm going to be definitely watching this zone for the gap fill reversal, and and make it support at previous day high. If it makes it support at previous day high and starts going up, I'm going to get long. I'm going to go long on it. But I want to see it obviously fill the gap and make this support for the next leg up. If not, and it breaks into this, I'll enter puts once a candle closes below previous day high. And if it goes against me, say it uses the 132.95 as support and it goes against me, I'll just stop out right here. That's my stop loss. So it's nice to have a plan before you get in, before when you get into these plays, if you have a plan and just stick to the plan. I know nobody wants to have a losing trade, but at least if you stop out, you preserve your capital. That's the biggest thing. So pick a stop loss, whether it be a percentage or a dollar amount, and when you hit it, stop out. Don't hold on, don't hope, none of that stuff. So obviously, let's go over Meta real quick. Meta looks like it's using previous day high as resistance. Let's mark the 200 right here on the 5. Go to the hourly chart. It's just the way I like to do it. Everybody's different, guys. You got to find out what works for you. And when I give you these price alerts, people might say, man, you're just going off of the candles. I'm literally just going off of the candles because, like I said, it's like a map. It's already been printed for you. You just got to look to the left. It's all there. But so I'm going to say to go long, I would say 139.64 would be my call trigger. Where's my next price target? It's going to be at previous day high, guys. 139.96. Since there's no more candles above it that's real close that I can read off of it, you see that? I'll just go to the next time frame, which would be the 4 hour. Still none. Let's go to the daily. See, now I can actually do it. It is overbought on the daily, guys, so just keep that in mind. I know Meta's been running lately, but it's been so beat down as well, so just keep that. Just because it's overbought doesn't mean nothing. It could stay overbought or oversold for a long period of time. So above previous day high, where's previous day high? Oh, right here. I would stay away from calls personally. But like I said, if it gets, the market don't care what I think. So if you see it get above previous day high, make it support, go long on it. I would too. There's but I just like puts. I know a lot of people are put biased. I try not to be biased. I just like puts because when you're in calls, it like stair steps up, and so it's stairs up and then elevated down. So it seems to me that you make a lot more money on the way down quicker. Not that you make a lot more money, but it's quicker moves. See, stair stepping, see, elevated. Stair step up, elevated down. That's what I've noticed, but it just is what it is. So for the puts, I would have to be 138.38. My first price target would be the 200 right here at 137.63. And then if it makes that, so okay guys, resistance right here at 137.45. You see that? It's probably going to come down and retest this area. If you see it failing to break down past this area, it turn resistance into support for the next leg up. Just keep that in mind. That's all I want to say. Now, if you see it breaking down past this, obviously it was resistance. Let's see if it makes it support for the next leg up. Now, if it breaks down, it breaks down. It just is what it is. Then my next price target will be 137.08. And my next price target will be right here at 136.17. So, does anybody have any questions? Let's look at SPY real quick. Beautiful cup, right at previous day, right at that handle. And this is a perfect example of just because it breaks through a support doesn't mean that it makes it resistance. So obviously we had this huge gap down, and well, we had some downside on SPY, and then the gap down, came back up, tried to make it resistance, and it got rejected, but then it just busted through it. So just because it was broke through it doesn't mean that it made it resistance. It tried, but it couldn't. It's up towards previous day high as well. So obviously calls would be like right here at 130, 397.53. Sorry guys, I'm always saying numbers so I get discombobulated. And then my next price target would be 398.43, and then my next price target would be 399.48. Guys, on 400 is a huge level. Well, 4,000 on SPX is a huge level, guys. We kept banging our head on that for the last 2 weeks, and then, you know, getting rejected. So watch for that level again. Let's see if we can make a resistance. Now, to the downside, if it can't make previous day high support, you want to go short. So I would say, just to be safe, like 135, 31. My first price target would be right here at 134.42. My next price target would be 1. Sorry guys, 393.36. And then my next price target would be right here at 391.51. Like I said, sorry guys, I apologize about that. All I do is look at numbers, talk about numbers. So anybody have any questions before I jump off here? I have to jump to the Discord and do some price targets as well in there. So if anybody has any questions or anything like that, type it in the chat. If you have any stocks you want me to go over, type it in the chat. I'll take care of you. No? None? Alright guys, happy Monday, and I'll see you guys in the Discord. 30-day free trial, guys. Get on it. Let's make some money together. It's absolutely free, risk-free for 30 days. You can't beat it with a bat. Let's go. Join the fam. Alright guys, have a good one. I'll see you guys in the Discord. All you guys in the chat.